Hey everyone, we're going to dive right into it. The press conference that is with Joe Whitt Jr. and Kliff Kingsbury. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to tell you what I feel, and what I like, and what I didn't like. Hey, it's coming up next on the RDG Sports Channel.
Work hard and play hard and grind hard and just like that. Work hard and play hard and grind hard. I'll be right back.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the RDG Sports Channel with your boy RDG. We in the building. Please, if you haven't done so already, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification button. I thank you guys. Nothing without you, and thank you to the people who just subscribe to my channel. I thank you guys. Let's talk about those two press conferences today with Whitt and Kingsbury. You know, my man Whitt said a lot. You know, he dived into a lot. You know, the media tried to pry this out of him, pry that out of him. It didn't work. My man was asked about his could he coach or something along that nature, and this, that, and the fourth. And he replied back, was like, man, I got 18 years of coaching experience up in here, man. What y'all talking about? You know, y'all can say anything else, but don't question my 18 years that I got up in this piece, man. I've been doing this for 18 smacks. You know, that's pretty much what he said. You know, I mean, he didn't say it in those words. But he sounded off at that the media guy, the reporter. He sounded off on him, you know, not in a smart way or anything like that, not with an attitude or nothing like that. But he was just basically saying, like, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm supposed to be here. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not shocked. I've been applying for these jobs and just wasn't getting them. You know, he referenced the younger guys, been getting a chance, and he hasn't been getting a chance. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just a guy just voicing his opinion, telling his truths. I don't see anything wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get up there and want to say the political thing. This guy is very passionate. He speaks from his chest, speaks from his heart, and he was just telling it like it is. He wasn't holding anything back. You know what I'm saying? He was just telling it like it is. But one thing he said out of his mouth that I had, it was a head scratcher. He was like, he couldn't wait to get to D.C. He always wanted to come to D.C. And I'm scratching my head like, we've been losing for 30 years, my brother. You couldn't wait to get to D.C. I call cap on that one. I don't believe you, man. You need more people. I just don't believe you right there, Mr. Whitt. Let me add the Junior on that one, since you said that. I got to add the Whitt Jr. on that one. You need to go stand in the corner over there, because I don't believe that one right there at all. You know, I got my notes right here, so I was just looking at my notes. And he also stated that he wants the defense to be physical. You know, he wants the defense to bring physicality to the table. You know, to me, that's what we was missing. Under Jack Del Rio, we wasn't a physical defense at all. You know, we haven't been a physical defense since Greg Williams. You know, and Greg Williams used to preach that and talk that, and the players actually went out there and performed that way. So when you got a guy that's talking that and preaching that, that's going to mesh with the players, and the players are going to go out and actually perform to that level. If you keep speaking something and speaking something and speaking something, you guys know what I'm about to say. You speak it to existence. And I think we could be a physical team that brings a lot of physicality and a lot of punishment, and make those other players on the other team say, man, we don't want to play Washington, man. We're going to be sore the next day. And that's what I like to hear from opposing teams, knowing that you're going to bring, you know, your lunch pail, and you're going to put that hard hat on. You know, like I said, the media here in D.C. is terrible, man. I don't know if anybody really noticed. This media here always try to pry and try to leak things out. Always, they caused so much turmoil in the past, so much controversy in the past. You know, the media, the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area media is brutal for this team, and they notorious for leaking out stuff dealing with this ball club. They don't do it for the Nationals. They don't do it for the Wizards. They don't do it for the Capitals or any of our sports team that's here in the Washington area. They don't do it for none of those teams. They only concentrate on this team. You know, they leak out stuff in the locker room. I mean, over the years, this media has helped encourage the fans to dislike this team. This media here, you know, they helped bring this team down. They helped ran, what's his name? They helped drove him into selling the team. And also, not just them. I know it was a bigger picture to him selling the team, but we wanted him gone anyway. I'm not taking up for him at all. Please don't think that I'm taking up for Danny Boy. No. But this media, it was so many stories in the past. A lot of people have gotten rich. A lot of media people have gotten rich, got promotions, everything. Gone on and go to ESPN and everything else just off this franchise alone. The Junkies, 1067 The Fan, the Junkies been around for eons. Specifically, 65% of their content is about the Redskins, now / Commanders football team, or whatever you want to call them. Everybody's been eating off this team for years, especially the media. You got content creators that have gotten started, you know, over the years from this team. I know I digress, but still, I had to get that off my chest. This media is terrible, man. Oh, the power structure is in place. Both Kliff Kingsbury and Whitt Jr. kept referring to Dan. Dan. No, we can't, you know, Dan wants this, Dan wants that. And it's so refreshing to hear, man. It's not an individual thing, you know, and those guys, from what he was saying was, and I'm gonna get back to the Dan thing, what both of them were saying, that they handpicked these coaches specifically for obvious reasons. You know, they all got coaching backgrounds, great coaching backgrounds from everywhere. They've been head coaches, they've been coordinators, you name it. They've done it all. They got them from different places. You know, they didn't just get them from one specific team. They got players from they got main coaches from several different teams. And they all going to be having a say, having a word, having an input on how the defense is going to be called, the strategies, the game plans, everything. Ultimately, the decisions is on Whitt and Kingsbury, but they're going to really heavily lean on their assistants as much as possible. You know, from what I'm gathering and what I'm hearing, they're going to lean on them a lot. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be conversing with each other. You know, Whitt and Kingsbury. You know, Whitt stated that in the press conference that they're going to be doing a collaboration, you know, on some of the things that he may have seen, you know what I'm saying, that some of the offenses was doing that, you know, you might want to do this because this was working again. We was kind of like surprised by this, or it gave us a tough time. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to throw some nuggets at him. Kingsbury going to throw some nuggets at him. And so are the other coaches, you know what I'm saying? And all this formulates. They kept on saying, and they kept on referring back to Dan Quinn. I just like the way the power structure is in place. You know, they highly respect Quinn. Nothing goes without going to Quinn. And a lot of times on some of these teams that we had, some of these coaches that we had, some of the coaches went behind the head coach back and said this and said that, leaked it out to the media. See how all this ties in together? The media, the assistant coaches, the players. Now they got to get the players on board as far as like, he already got his coaches on board as far as the pyramid structure. You got Dan Quinn at the top of the pyramid, right? It trickles on down from there. Everybody else is under. Dan Quinn is calling the shots as far as with the football team when it's time to play games. But as far as from the personnel standpoint, you know, of course you got Adam Peters. You know, you got him and Dan Quinn got a sit down and say which player they need or which players he like, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. But for the most part, when it comes to that football field, Dan Quinn has the respect of his assistant coaches. They're not leaking anything out. If Dan Quinn hasn't leaked it out or hasn't told the media, if you ask me questions, that means Quinn hasn't told you anything. And which means I'm not telling you anything. That's what I got. These guys are tight-lipped, and we're not used to that. These coaches came from properly ran organizations. The Baltimore Ravens, the Philadelphia Eagles, the San Francisco 49ers, those close clubs right there, Kansas City, Pittsburgh Steelers, those clubs know what to do. That's why you never hear anything leak out from those ball clubs, because management, and the ownership is everything is structured in place. All they doing is just doing the plug-ins. This is how we want our football team ran. That comes from management and ownership when they're hiring a new coach. This is how we want it. This is how we want the media to portray us. We don't leak anything out to the media. We keep everything in-house. We have any issue, we keep everything in. And that's what I gathered from both of these head coaches. They're not leaking anything out. The media tried to pry and poke. No good. Like I already stated, that would take ideas from his coaches. He also he said, if teams think that we're going to run the same defense that we did in Dallas, good luck with that. Because he's taking bits of information from all his coaching staff, and they're bringing new wrinkles in there, and they're going to implement. He said we're going to have our base defense, and we also going to have a lot of other stuff going on too. You know what I'm saying? So good luck if you go and review tape. This is what he said out of his mouth. If you review the tape, those teams review the tape of what we did Dallas last year, good luck with that. They're going to be wasting their time, putting in a lot of hours for nothing. It's going to be a totally different deal. He said it's going to be the Commanders defense. He said they had the Seattle defense, the Dallas Cowboy defense. When he was at Green Bay, they had the Green Bay defense. Now it's the Commanders defense, the way the Commanders are going to play. And I think we should go back like we had in the early 90s, late 80s, all throughout the 80s. We had Dexter Manning and Charles Mann. You got to have those two bookends on the other side. You got to have those two pass rushers, And speaking of pass rushers, shout out to Ryan Kerrigan for retaining his job. And now he's assistant linebackers coach and also a pass rushing specialist. My man, shout out to Ryan Kerrigan. But yeah, we need those two bookends. We got to have it. Whitt said he talked about Emmanuel Forbes and Quan Martin. He liked those guys. He says it's interesting. It's very intriguing. You know what I'm saying? So look for those guys to be coached up well and have a nice season this year. Mark my words. And Kingsbury on the other side said we had some real nice pieces, some weapons on the offensive side that he liked. So we're going to build on what those coaches like and try to get some more players to best suit what they want to do. Right now they're doing evaluations of players right now. That's what they both stated in the press conference, that they still evaluating. Kingsbury was just on game number 3, so he has a long way to go. And hopefully, he said he would. They asked him a question about which quarterback that he wanted. He said Kansas City Chiefs quarterback, which means Sam Howell is not it. But anyway, you got my boy Jaden Daniels, coming out. But I already made a video about that. So that's that. I just wanted to cover the press conference, you guys. I know I'm putting it up late, but it's getting put up. That's all that matters. Anyway, it's your first time watching this video and you like what you saw, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification button. It's your boy Arbor DG. Peace.